The trailer for Raising Kanan Season 4 Episode 10 depicts a person exiting a red car just before Snaps and Pop Henry introduce them to Kanan. Because whoever it is seems to be the person Kanan will be doing business with in Season 5, there has been a lot of conjecture since then regarding who is getting out of that red car. Since I think that Unique is Breeze, many people also think that this is the moment that Kanan will finally meet Breeze. Additionally, I believe that's the person Kanan is meeting and shaking hands with in the trailer for Episode 10. When Snaps is discussing with Kanan the prospect of a business partnership between him and Unique in the trailer video, the first hint is revealed. He continued by saying that it might be advantageous for everyone. Kanan was shaking hands with Snaps and Pop in the trailer, so it only makes sense to me that they are putting this parlay together. Additionally, remember that in Episode 8, the Unique approach Pops and Snaps about going down with him and taking the entire pie. Given that they are already at odds with Kanan, it would only make financial sense for them to hook up and collaborate with Unique if they choose to do so as well. However, concurrently, Uni is currently operating a white Beamer as the individual exits a red vehicle. Given that we have never seen Snaps or Pop's cars on Raising Kanan, I believe there is a good chance that the person getting out of the red car is actually Snaps, not even the person Kanan is shaking hands with. Therefore, we have no idea what they really drive. However, D-Boy constantly switches cars and has several cars if it's not Snaps getting out of the car, and that's the person Kanan is shaking hands with. Therefore, getting a second car wouldn't be insignificant for Unique. It appears to be the kind of vehicle Unique would drive based just on the rims. Furthermore, we are aware that the Season 4 finale will see a conflict erupting between multiple factions. And as a result, Uni's car might be shot up once more, just like Marvin did with Uni's Beamer in Season 1. If that is Unique and not Snaps, there are a few different reasons why he is exiting that red car rather than a white one. Additionally, Unique's typical shoe style is not the same as the shoes the person is wearing. Nevertheless, observing Snaps' attire in this scene, it is also more casual than his typical style. Additionally, Snaps may be wearing those shoes with the ensemble he is wearing, returning to Unique and discussing throwing down with him with Snaps and Pop. We don't know of anyone else that Snaps and Pop are currently involved with in the drug trade besides Kanan, which is why they initially hooked up with him. Particularly in relation to the drug trade in Southside Jamaica, Queens, which has been operated by Ronnie Unique Rock for the past 10 years, and prior to her, her man held a high position. On the South Side, no one else has been making an effort to compete with them. Rewinding to Season 3, when Ronnie was constantly complaining to Unique about Rock stealing their business after Rock left the game, Ronnie was informed by Unique that it's just us laying wide open. Then, when Rock believed Unique was dead at the start of Season 4, she informed Marvin that they were the only game in town. Remember those words. That informs us that Breeze is not the only drug dealer in Queens who may be on the rise. Then flashing back to Season 2, when Unique first left prison and returned to Dean in search of employment. Rock and her Colombian connections have dominated the Southside Jamaica Queens market, Dean told Unique. This indicates that Snaps and Pop have not been involved with any other dealers in Queens because, if they were involved in someone's drug business, it would not be a small-scale venture. Then returning to the party that Ronnie hosted in Season 3 when he believed Unique had passed away. This is a crucial scene because none of the players in the game at the time were named Breeze, despite Jukebox naming a number of them. Additionally, I'm not sure if these dealers were active in Queens or perhaps from another borough, because it would seem that they wouldn't have been cool with Ronnie if they were active in Queens at the time, because they would have been his rivals. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.